So going into the Unity Asset Store, you can click on 3D characters, go down here, click Free Assets, and then find Robot Kyle and add him to your assets. Then we're going to go into Window, Package Management, Package Manager, look for Robot Kyle, we'll download him, and we'll import him into our project. You can just skip this, we do not need it for what we're doing here. Hit Import, and then we're going to go to Recorder in the Unity registry and install that one, because this is going to allow us to make images out of what's on our screen, which is what we want. Now go into Robot Kyle, go to the prefabs and find him there and drag him onto the project. Then we're going to set up our camera a little bit here, it's too far away. And then we'll rotate him 90 degrees so that he looks like he's, a platformer. If you look at his feet here, the way they're separated like this is because we're in perspective mode. We can change it to orthographic, which will make things look a little more 2D. We'll just have to readjust our size here to get it close again. Now let's change the skybox background to be a solid color. I'm going to make mine green because what we're going to do is key this out. It's how they use green screens in movies, right? We're going to just destroy this background later, and by making it all one color, it makes it really easy. Okay, I like this running animation, so I think that's what we're going to use. So let's go into Window, General, Recorder, and open up our recorder window. I'm going to drag it over here, and we need to set the recording mode to be frame interval. It's going to start at 0, and in order to know when it should end, let's go to the animation that we're actually going to use and count how many frames there are. There's 20, so we're going to set this to 20. Now let's go add an actual recorder here, and we're going to make this an image sequence. We're going to use texture sampling, the active camera. I'm setting mine to 16:9, and we want this file format to be PNG. And I'm going to rename this file something like Robot Kyle Run. And you want a wildcard at the end of this. I would pick frame, because that way it distinguishes each frame and doesn't just overwrite itself what image you're making. And this should put it all in order for you. Now we need to go back onto Kyle and just delete everything on here from him except for the animator. That's the only part we need, and everything else is going to cause behavior we don't actually want. Then let's open his animator up and just delete everything that's in here, because it's using like a blend and stuff. He's actually set up to be a full-blown character. That's not currently what we want from him. Let's go to his animations, find that running one we were using. It was the Run North animation. I'm going to duplicate it just in case we want to edit it later, and I'm going to drag that into our animator. And make sure it's the starting animation, that it's got a transition going into it so that when you hit play, it goes. And when you hit play to test it, you should see that he just immediately starts running. Now we can go to the recorder, hit this big old button, and it's going to work. When you see something like no displays are active, that is normal. Don't worry about it. Now you can go into the inspector and check and see that, yep, we have a bunch of images that look like an animation. The next important thing I'm using here is a free program called GIMP. If you've never heard of it, it's basically free open source Photoshop kind of a program. So I'm going to create a new thing here and set it to 720p, which is 1280 by 720. I'm going to add an alpha channel, and I'm going to delete this background layer. Then go into your folder wherever you have saved these images and organize them by type. With GIMP, it prefers the low numbers to be at the bottom. It's going to run this as an animation from bottom to top. And now you need to go through each one of these and delete the green screen. So the way to do that is to go to this thing, right click on it. If you see fuzzy select instead of select by color, right click it and select by color will be in there. Then you just go to each layer, you click on the green somewhere, and you delete. Now if you're finding that there's a bunch of green left over in the corners maybe or around your character, you just need to tinker with the threshold here. I found around 18 is pretty solid. Now you can go into filters, go into animation, and look at that. It looks like he's running, and that's just running frame by frame. Now if you see a little stutter step at the end like I am, what's probably happening is my frame 0 here and my frame 20 are the exact same thing. So I'm going to delete frame 20, go back into the animation window, and it should look perfectly smooth and have a nice loop. There you go. Robot Kyle is now a 2D sprite.